All right, come on up. Let's give a hand for Kenn.
Thank you, everybody. It's really great to be here. One of the things that happens to us when we're walking around schools and talking to students, especially when it comes to math and science, you hear kids say all the time, why do I need to know this? You know, they want to know the relevance of math and science in their life, the relevance of math and science to their futures. And the nice thing that what Salvadori does is we pull the math and science out of the built environment. So that's out of the buildings that are going up in town, the bridges that circle the island, you know, even the parks, their skate parks, their local communities, the schools in which they live, and we show them the math and science. So for instance, when we're teaching skyscrapers, we'll actually do the scientific method of creating a hypothesis, doing an experiment where they observe what's going on in the experiments and write down their observations, and then study what the conclusions are. So they might do something as simple as taking a simple paper column and looking at the variables. One's round, one's square, and saying how the variables make the strength of the column different. And through an experiment of loading the columns, and if you go on our YouTube page, you can see kids do it, and they're really gleeful about it, you'll actually see that the round column is much stronger than the square column. And the kids learn it on a personal level. They learn it in working in groups collaboratively, so they learn that another kid in the class will bring something to the table that they don't bring, and then they'll bring together something that the whole class doesn't have. So it's a great experience because they work on projects, it's all project-based, it's all collaborative, and it's all about teaching kids math and science.
Woo!
All right.
I want to hear more about the Salvadori project, so we're going to talk to Kenn Jones in just a moment. We're back with Kenn Jones, Executive Director of Salvadori. Hey!
Hi, nice to meet you.
Loved your presentation. This is such a fantastic idea. I love it. It's
Thanks.
implemented in how many schools now?
We're in about 150 different classrooms. So we're in schools in all 5 boroughs, and it's a K through 12 program. And we have 13 different curricula in 4 different types of programs, both in school and after school. And we even teach professional development for teachers.
Wow, so this program, it can expand for after school and also during the classroom, so it's not only just structural, correct?
Exactly. So we have the short residency is 8 weeks, and the long residency is all year long, about 23 weeks. And then our after-school program is 12 weeks, and we offer a fall sequence and a spring sequence. And then we just started a new summer program, and so we're excited about that as well.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yeah.
So the collaborative, I'm really interested in the collaborative effort that the kids bring in, the collaborative aspect of it. They bring in their own questions. Is that how that works? Can you explain that a little bit?
We have a professional educator who works for us, a Salvadori educator, and we provide all the materials, all the supplies, and all the curriculum. So the curriculum is structured, but the kids work in teams of anywhere from 3 to 4 kids, and the activities pulse from those small table groups up to the whole class and back. But everything the kids do, every scientific experiment is project-based. So they build the bridges, they work with paper arches, they learn about the structural capacity. And every single class, while it's encapsulated, so it has a beginning, middle, and an end, it also builds to a culminating experience. So for instance, this bridge here is part of our bridges curricula, where the kids will actually build complex truss bridges and then test it to failure to see how does the design of the bridge improve the structural capacity of the bridge.
And they're using the numbers as well, right? The correct numbers.
It's all,
so they're trying to figure out the mathematical aspect of it as well. Correct?
Exactly. It's all math and science based, so they learn the math, they learn the science, and then in a project like this, the reason it's so colorful is each one of these straws represents a different economic value. So we include economics into it and also art-based. All of our curricula directly tied to national educational standards. The Common Core, Next Generation Science, the blueprints for the arts. And so everything is actually modeled for classroom teachers on how you can incorporate the Common Core through project-based learning.
So it goes within their curriculum as it is, which is great. It's not against it. And you're making it fun, which is probably the best part for the kids, right? Because they love getting involved and building things and learning at the same time.
Yeah. And the nice thing is when kids work together in teams, they actually learn from each other that, first of all, they don't need to have all the answers. They're learning skills that we need in the 21st century, whether it's college or career readiness. And they're learning to work collaboratively, which is important because we all have to do that. And they're actually, by doing it, they absorb it on a much deeper level than they would if they just read it in a textbook or were told it by a teacher.
And is it a team effort or is it a little more competitive? Does it become more kind of what we were talking about with Camilla? Did you find that interesting about the team aspect? Is that implement it all?
We always work in teams. So in the classroom, kids throughout the whole residency or the after-school program will work in groups of 3 or 4. And it does get a little competitive sometimes at the end.
Fun competitive,
if it is
right?
fun, yeah, because some of the kids will say like their bridge was lasted longer than the other, but then they also learn that maybe it's the level of craft or care they put into the construction of their project that had an impact on the longevity of the structure. So it's a really great way
Graham
to
and I go
learn.
through that all the time. My bridge is better than bigger than your bridge.
So we have this conversation all the time.
My child, I think I mentioned to you, Ken, earlier, it goes to PS 166 and took Salvadori and loved it. And they had the most fantastical structures. Let's be honest, most public school kids like my son do not create anything as beautiful and as clean as this.
I couldn't do that.
But still, right, you sat there last night clearly creating this for the show.
I pulled that out of the box.
Please.
This one, this we made.
To Joan Rivers. Oh, please. Okay. Then no kid that I know created this. But the children of PS 166 loved the program. It was paid for by the PTA.
Exactly.
And it had a huge impact on the school. Is it an expensive program?
It's really not. We underwrite about 75% of the cost of the program because we have very generous benefactors. We are a vendor with the Department of Education, so schools can put it through their budget, but a lot of PTAs do it, and we're very fundable by foundations because we already pay 75%, so a school can go to a foundation and say, hey, look, you don't have to pay for the whole thing, we only need 25%.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for being here. Really
very
so
welcome.
generous of you to come here.
Nice to meet you.
I hope you come back again.
Absolutely. This is a great show.